else is learning the joy of painting.
He said something to you about, are you retired now? Or
Yeah, he goes, what, you didn't have anything to do in your retirement? So,
right.
Because he heard me tell you that my family made me start painting. I hadn't started painting for, a couple years ago. And it shocked him that, you just thought you'd try it, you were bored. And maybe he'd come from looking at my really bad dog painting, I don't know.
He's pissed.
Right. But, and I can understand, I have some friends who are true artists, and they always were. Even when they were in high school, they were doing stuff and painting their shoes. And my brother painted his pants on a snowbank one time, and then realized they got hard and he couldn't walk in them. But he was trying to express the artistic need.
Yeah.
And these are people who just have the need. They have to make something and create. All this creativity is just oozing out of them. And I was always the athlete and the scholar, and I was an actor that acted in plays and things, and that let me become different people.
Right.
But I just never thought I could do this, and I always really wished I could do it.
I feel like I was in your shoes at a much younger age. My sister was the painter, and I was a photographer, and I loved numbers, and I appreciated art. But I never thought that I could
make it.
Yeah. That's what photography is for me, is a way to capture a moment that I think is beautiful and share it with others.
So do you like to use filters and things to create the effects?
Fuck filters. Hashtag fuck filters. That's my thing that I'm trying to get going, but whatever. As realistic to the moment that I saw as possible. And I don't try to doctor up my photos. I just try to be real.
Good.
And so my sister is a very talented painter. She's taken a break, but she is a very talented painter. And it was something that we could do together. Like, she wanted to do something together, I wanted to do something together. She wanted to paint, and I wanted to go out and take pictures. Well, I budged, and I said, okay, let's paint. And I think she still has my first painting of a mountain and a sunset with, infinity signs flying as birds in the background or whatever.
That's the kind of stuff my brother did.
Is lame, but she loves it, and she still has it.
Yeah. Did you guys ever, and this is something that I thought would be cool, she is the artist. Did you ever think about going out and taking a photo for her to paint the photo? Because look how cool that would be, as the photo and then the painting of the photo. It's one thing my son wants me to do is, okay, Dad, you want to do a photorealistic, so do the photorealistic, and then do an impressionistic version, and then do a completely deconstructed version of it, but as a setting or something like that.
Wow.
And that's stuff that I have in my list of things that I want to do. And this is one of the things that I got from talking and reading through the stuff that Janet Vanderhoff has posted, was set goals. I didn't set any goals for my painting, and I did it whenever I had time. And so life gets in the way, and if you don't make it important, it's not.
Well, this is New Year's Eve, and we've been talking a lot about New Year's resolutions, and Christopher brought up probably a week or two ago, that there's a statistic, the people that write down their New Year's resolutions are far more likely to actually succeed in the next year with their goals, other than people that just mentally or say they're gonna do it.
And I found, actually for 2013, I found a diary that had goals written in it that I'd forgotten I'd written down. And every single one of those goals came true.
No way. What were they?
I don't remember. Off the top of my head. But yeah, no, I was surprised.
Awesome.
But they did. They just sort of, they weren't big goals,
Right.
They were just things that I wanted to do, and I
cat.
wrote them down, and no, that was 2014, but...
Oh.
But I heard that unless your goals are written and measurable, they're a wish.
Yeah. It makes sense. And that's, that's kind of, we were talking about the social media thing earlier, and I think that in a lot of ways, for myself as an artist, because I don't necessarily work as a painter or a sculptor I do a lot of different stuff, and so documentation is key to what I do, and the social media provides this perfect venue for documenting all the different things that we do.
And you have somebody in India look at your
Absolutely.
art and enjoy it and appreciate it, and then copy it. And
or who knows? I don't know. I mean, if they can copy it,
wouldn't that be cool to see some building in India with your motif kind of on it? People said, "Oh, I loved that." Uncle Sam,
Fuck you.
Yeah.
So 4th effing Friday.
Right. I have some flyers if you want a couple.
I would like some, yeah. Because I'm just getting into this. In fact, I went out today and I bought 2 24 by 36 inch canvases, and
nice.
I will be painting tomorrow.
Nice.
Wow. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Please give them out to anybody that you feel would be interested in coming. Invite your friends and family, and
we've invited
coworkers
everybody that we've interviewed so far, and we've also asked each one of them, if they can, to donate a little piece of art
something
towards
small.
a free will donation raffle. We'll provide tickets, and then we'll raffle off all the different artworks that people
got
have.
3 donations so far. 3 donations so far,
Got a lot
which
of
is
promises.
awesome. And so a guest can come in and they can donate $5 or more, and they'll get a raffle ticket, and it's helping us cover our food and booze costs and the costs of flyers and posters and painting the walls and
Sure.
yeah.
Well, I would be happy to do something and donate it.
That'd be
Awesome.
great.
So-
We'd really appreciate it.
I just really appreciate you guys including me in your Art Life blog. It's really fun.
I can't tell the artists enough. This would be nothing without the artists, because we tried to do this, just me and him, and it was boring as hell. And then we got one interview and we got a mad reaction. And that was what sparked it, was we needed to help promote other people in order for this to work.
Well, and I tell you, I've got to follow Chris Haberman's example, and that guy is so open and welcoming and supportive, and not just him, but everybody involved with People's Art in Portland.
He is a very, very well-known artist in Portland, and he still lives by, I will say no to nothing. Any opportunity that man is given, he will say yes. He doesn't even think twice about it. And that made me seriously look at myself. He's not too good for anything.
Yeah. And that's breaking down the stereotypes of people who are involved in galleries, and to have a warm, welcoming. Well, guess what? It's Portland. What better city to have that kind of an example than Portland?
Right.
Yeah, and we talked about its uniqueness too. The fact that it's in a mall.
Mhm.
Galleries are never in malls. It's already accessible to people. The prices are accessible. The artists that he represents in there, they work with volunteers. Mostly artists go in and volunteer at the gallery to run the cash register and all of that. So the whole thing is designed around a community.
Everybody working
people's
together
art,
for one goal.
It's really an amazing idea.
For me, I've become, I don't know, I try to tell everyone about this, because I tell them, they go, oh, I could never do that. And I said, I would have said the same thing 5 years ago. Until I did this, I would have sworn I could never paint. Because I painted.
Did you draw that first, or did you just...
No, I didn't know. I did that from a photograph. That one was from a photograph.
See, it blows my mind. I would want to draw it out first, and then, I still do that. If I want to paint something, I draw it out, and then I color by number.
There are people on the planet that are incapable of doing that, though.
It's amazing.
They just don't. They're not able to see what you see.
Well, but until you try it. This is what I tell people. You don't know what
Try
you're
it.
capable of.
And maybe your thing is photorealism. Maybe your thing is portraits. Maybe you're abstract artist. Maybe you're a photographer. But I guarantee there's some
Right.
sort of artistic outlet that will make you shine without trying to sound super cheesy. But like it'll make your soul grow.
The biggest block that people have is they don't like what they see.
Right.
They don't like what they do. They're not willing to accept what they've created as,
I think that acceptance from an audience, because we talked about that last night, it's hard to accept, even if you say I'm an artist, it's hard to accept that without the approval of somebody else.
But you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to accept it before anybody else does.
Right.
And that's the hardest part is, and that's, I think, why people say, oh, I can't do it, because they've tried.
Right.
And they didn't like what they saw. And now they're not willing to give themselves a chance again because they didn't like what they saw, and they're convinced that they're not going to like it again.
I started to tell you the story, and I got away from it. I was hanging, had my paintings in the first show, the first landscape show that People's Art did. And I was talking to somebody about this barn picture, and something that I didn't think turned out real well. The sky with the effect that I tried,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to a lady, and she said, "Oh, I love the sky. I love that you can see the brush strokes, the movement. I love that." And then I told her I was really proud of the trees. Well, then we stood off to the side of looking at something else, and another couple walked up, and the woman turned to her husband and said, "Those trees are the worst trees I've ever seen, and that's the worst sky I've ever seen, but I love those flowers in the front." And it's like, and the thing that it's just one person loves the thing and the other person hates. It's opposites. And I thought the same painting and people get two totally different reactions from it. And if I listened to all the negative, I'd never paint again.
Right.
You
Just listen to the positive, and then the whole painting is amazing.
I went to a Van Gogh exhibit down in the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. I think it was in '99 or 2000 maybe. And I was so angry when I walked out of there because they had displayed all the artwork close together, and then there was like a line, and you had the rope, and they designated how close you could get to and then you couldn't get back far enough to see
really
the
see it,
paintings,
right?
Because he worked really big. Most of the show, the paintings were like 4 foot by 6. I mean, they were huge
Right.
paintings, and
you're 6 feet from them.
yeah.